I've been writing for more than 15 years, and this is one of the books which is closest to my heart because it's actually about my story. It's about issues of cultural identity, and also it deals with what I normally like to write with, which is growing up in an adolescent world, all the problems involved in growing up. And this is about a 14-year-old South Indian girl who's living in Delhi, which, as you know, is a cosmopolitan city, so you have people of different cultures there. And her mother has to go away for some reason, and her grandmother comes to stay with her. She comes from the south. She's very orthodox. She wants this girl Nalini to dress like a South Indian, walk, talk like a South Indian, eat South Indian food, and so on. And Nalini is embarrassed, at one level because she doesn't know how her friends will react to that, and also she's a little irritated because she's quite an independent person and she doesn't like her grandmother, trying to tell her what to do and so on. So this book actually explores the relationship between Nalini and her grandmother, and it also talks about issues of cultural identity and alienation faced by, children of different communities. So she's a 14-year-old. In that sense, all the problems in school that you normally deal with at that age, like peer pressure and the desire to carve a kind of identity for yourself, do well in studies, make friends, and become popular amongst your peer group. So that's happening at one level. The other level is her having to deal with her identity as a South Indian, because so far she's adopted the North Indian way of life. She's never had much to do with the South, so now with the coming of her grandmother in her life, she has to deal with the fact that she's actually a South Indian, and all the problems that arise as a result, the conflict in her mind between the two cultures, and how she eventually accepts her identity and her grandmother. It is my story.
Okay.
I am a Tamilian and I was born and brought up in Delhi, and I've always experienced this kind of cultural clash. When I go to the south, I feel that I don't really fit in there, and at the same time I know I don't really fit in here in Delhi. And while I was in school, around the age that Nalini was, I had to deal with these issues. At times I used to feel embarrassed when I'd call my friends over, and I'd be talking in Tamil and maybe dressing up like a typical Tamilian girl and all that, and I was always worried that will my Punjabi friends laugh at me and things like that. But then later on slowly I became proud of my identity as South Indian, and I realized that everybody comes from different community, different part of India. So eventually Delhi is a melting pot, and everybody should learn to appreciate each other's cultures and to form friendships that way.